Hey folks, how are you? This is Chad Houston here. There we go. Okay, today we're going to talk about a spectrophotometer, what it is, and a little bit about analytical chemistry. So here's what I got for you today. The goal is, again, spectrometry 101. You're going to be building a mini spectrometer, stuff you're going to need, the build itself, and what now. Also, don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Something that's kind of important on this slide is this is the journal that I was able to get this from, Journal of Chem Ed. It's just great article. It just came out, and it really tells you step by step and gives you some information, some of the items that you'll need. So first of all, what is spectroscopy? Step number one, basically it's examining light. So essentially what we have here is there's some kind of emitter, like the sun, gives off electromagnetic radiation as white light. It hits either a diffraction grating or a prism that breaks it into a rainbow or like a drop of water. And we see the beautiful colors of the spectrum or the emission spectrum. If we change this right here, the emitter, if we make it a different chemical, if we make it a chemicals on a different star or something, or a drug or a poison or something, it gives off light, but the spectral pattern changes and you can identify it. Another thing that's called emission spectroscopy. The other thing we can do is take white light, have it pass through a chemical. The chemical can absorb some of the light. It totally changes the spectrum. And often we can tell not just what chemical that's doing the absorbing, but how much. And they can do this for, colors in like food dyes, like in different sports drinks, or in some cases, which is really cool, cells that are cancerous as opposed to healthy cells. So it's a really powerful technique. Now, we're going to basically do something here called analytical and instrumental chemistry, where we're going to actually build the device that's going to actually look at this. And we don't get to do this very much in chemistry, which is why I'm so excited. So we're going to build a mini spectrophotometer. You're going to have a white light source, which you can get anywhere. It's going to go in our device. There's going to be a diffraction grating that's going to break the light up, and we're going to see the different colors. And then you can use this to examine different types of stuff. So how do we do this? Well, here are some things that you're going to need to get ready. First of all, you're going to need a template, which I'm going to print out for you, or you can get from your instructor, glue and tape, scissors, sharp cutting knife. And by the way, this has been very, very helpful. So very sharp cutting knife. You're going to need a ruler, probably some Scotch tape. You're going to need some white glue, a compact disc. This is going to be kind of important here. You'll see that. Also, from the reason I like these knives, which you can get at just any hardware store, is you're going to need some razor blades, and they kind of come in this. You can get those pretty cheap. And again, a pair of scissors and probably a cutting mat or a piece of cardboard. Wherever you cut this, just don't do it on your kitchen table or kitchen counter because you don't want to mark it. Okay, this is probably the most important part here is the template. The template is what we're going to fold up and make into this. Okay, this is the where we're going to make. Now, the inside of this is great because it's all black, which is great. And what you want to do is you want to fold wherever you see a dotted line, and you want to cut wherever there's a solid line, with an exception. Don't cut here, this square here, and don't cut here. Okay, we don't want to cut here. So we basically cut this out. Okay, so here's a template. You basically want to cut this out here. You want to cut this slit here, and you'll cut all this here, and you even make little slits like right here, so it makes it easier to fold. Now, a really important tip: this little slit that the light goes through. Okay, best way I found to do this is you take a razor blade, okay, and then you put 5 pieces of Scotch tape on it, and then you take your second razor blade like this. Okay, so you take your second one, and you can't see it on here, but there's like a slight gap there. And when you put that down to cut, that makes this line right here perfect. And what you can do as a straight edge is it helps, you can use your ruler to do that, especially when you fold. So just take care when you do it. So then what's going to happen? Oh, and I almost forgot. One of the most important things too, let's go back here. I'll go back. Yeah, so we're going to go back here. Sorry. The most important thing is there we go. The most important thing is this part right here. So you're going to take your CD, and you can see that and cut out a wedge that fits right here. And you want to put that in with glue. Now, how do you cut it? One way that I found that they mentioned somewhere in there was if you're having trouble cutting, definitely use a pair of scissors or your straight edge, and so it doesn't crack. One thing you can do, if you put this in warm or hot water just for a few minutes, dry it off, and then cut it. When it's warmer, it makes it a little bit easier to crack. So when we get this, the idea is that the light. Okay, so the light is going to come in this little slit right here, and then what's going to happen is it comes in, and it'll hit our little CD, which is like our diffraction grating, and we'll see the spectral colors here. This is a standard of a fluorescent light bulb. So what I did was I tried to do a test where I just took my cell phone, I put it up to here, and I checked natural light and my kitchen light, and I just did it like quick and dirty. And here's what I found, and I think you can kind of tell natural light, and this wasn't the best picture. I was kind of trying to hold a bunch of things at once, but then here's the fluorescent light, and you can kind of tell how it's not perfect, but I think you can tell that there's more lines here. This is mainly just like a natural spectrum. So already it's working, and it's kind of cool that we can do things with this. And you can even take your cell phone and put it up here. And one thing I've never tried was to do this, but I'll do it right now. But you can even see here as I put it in there, and there it is. It's working, right? You can see here as I use that, you can see it works that well. So what was the real test? Well, the real test is we have a neighborhood kid named Big Bad Matt, who, as you can see, likes to school my son and I at basketball almost every day. He came down and he said, "Hey, Chad, what are you doing?" And so I showed him, and he wouldn't leave until I actually made him his very own spectrometer and gave him a popsicle. Yeah, he's a great kid. He actually chose science over basketball, and I'm kind of cool with that. So I consider this a huge success, and I can't wait to really try these in the classroom. And by the way, this could make a great take-home science experiment. Good luck.